Hello, Flosstube friends. I'm Nancy Joy Trower. I'm the Stitcher with the Laughing Face, and this is Flosstube number 33. Thanks so much for stopping by to see what I've been up to for the past couple of weeks. Of course, it's longer in between Flosstubes than I intended, but January kind of got away from me in preparations for this past week, which was my book fair. So, but the book fair is over, so now I can breathe, but now I'm starting a new winter reading challenge tomorrow, so I have to be reading quite a lot to beat all of the children at school, because that's a prize. If you can read more than I do, they get extra prizes. But it's been good. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. Don't really care who wins too much. I know Linny and Roberta are huge Chiefs fans, as they should be, as you know, that's where they live. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan because that's where I live. I used to be a Giants fan. I grew up always rooting for the Giants because I watched them with my dad. But after Eli left, like, And plus we can't really watch them here because we live in Bills country. Very, very proud of our Bills, even though we did not make it to the Super Bowl this year. We will get there eventually. We will. Super, super proud also of our QB who won MVP this week, as well as Sportsman of the Year, which is funny because at the beginning of the season, he was voted by the other players in the league as the worst trash talker, and now he's Sportsman of the Year because he does it classily. Is that a word? Classily? He does it in a classy way. He also won the FedEx Air Player of the Year for the crazy stuff that he does, leaping over grown men. But he didn't win MVP. And if you didn't catch his speech, it's really wonderful. And the last part of it is already a t-shirt, and I really want one. He said, "Be good, do good, love God, go Bills." Gotta love it. So I was like, I saw a t-shirt like the next day. I was like, I want one really bad. The other thing, and even if you're not a huge football fan or whatever, but so Josh's charity is Oshai Children's Hospital, which is our big children's hospital. The next nearest one is Strong in Rochester, which is also a great hospital. But ours is a wonderful, wonderful place, and that's his charity. And he does more than he just is required to. He goes and spends time with the kids, and you can see that he really deeply loves it. Because right after he won MVP, Oshai had made him a video of the kids at the hospital, the kids that he had interacted with, congratulating him. Or at least like one of the little girls was really cute. She's like, if you don't win, the NFL is gonna get a strongly worded letter from me. But there's a video of Josh watching the video, and it is so heartwarming because here's this giant 6'6", 240-pound man of steel crying at the kids. Pretty awesome. So that's why we love him. Not just that he leaps over people in a single bound. I mean, that's pretty awesome too, but he's just a great guy. So we're super proud of our QB. So that's my football rant. Go Eagles. I don't really care too much, but Max lives in Philly. He goes to Temple, and his girlfriend's family is from Philly. They live there. So we want her Eagles to win. So I'm drinking out of, it is a Bills cup, but it's green. I'm drinking out of my green mug today. So go Birds. So this week was the book fair. So January, basically I came back from Christmas vacation and hit the ground running, trying to get the book fair ready. Cause I do a lot of prep. There's a lot of stuff that I do, and a lot of decorating, contests, and and I don't have any pictures to share with you. I should have gotten some already to put up there. I need to remember to take pictures tomorrow. So maybe I'll put them in another video some other time. But this was the very best book fair. My library theme this year is Love My Library, because there was a sweet little girl who said it wrong one day, and I was like, no, it's library. And then I was like, wait a second, that's a theme. So everything was berry, strawberries, blueberries. I had a door decorating contest for the classes, because that helps me decorate the hallway. And so they each did, being we're a Catholic school, I could do stuff like this. They each had a fruit of the spirit. So joy, love, patience, self-control, all of those good things. And then they each had a berry to go with it. And then they decorated the doors. And they turned out really cute. The funny thing is that the two who won weren't really berries. So my dear friend, Margaret, who teaches our 8th grade, she's our 8th grade homeroom and the science teacher. she had already decided before I was like, hey, let's do Fruits of the Spirit. She wanted to do a door about what makes a berry, because strawberries technically aren't. Their seeds are on the outside. Somebody named them berry. Pumpkins technically are. Botanically, they are a berry. So she had this really awesome door. The kids helped her do it with circuits. So she had the rules at the top of what makes a berry. And then she had fruits and vegetables that, you know, were they a berry or not. And she had these little clamp thingies that when you clamped one side to the other, it would light up red if it was a berry, if it was not a berry, and green if it was. So that was brilliant. And my friends who are not homeroom teachers who did the voting and the judging, they chose that for first place. And Margaret was very excited. She was like, first time in 30 years she's ever won the door decorating contest. And then the other one went to 5th grade, and they had a kiwi. Now, it's not a berry, it's a fruit. But the teacher, who's one of my besties, her dog's name is Kiwi. So I was like, I will let it slide. You can do kiwis. So she did this really cute thing. The class looked up what like kiwi represents and had some things that went along with that. And I forget what their Fruit of the Spirit was. I don't know if it was, I can't remember. I don't know if it, patience maybe? I can't remember. No, it wasn't patience. That one with coffee. Oddly enough. But she did a great job too, and it was very cute. And the kids did a lot of cool acronyms to go along with the word and stuff like that. So it was really student driven in that one. It wasn't just teachers coming. I mean, the teachers did a great job. It was all really cute, but that one was cool because the kids did a lot of the work. So that was fun. We had posters. The kids had posters they made, and then we do a lollipop pull, and the winner gets the Squishmallow. That was a strawberry. But the big thing, of course, is that we had a really good sale. We had about $7,000 total, which for a school my size is great. It means I get to spend about $3,500 on the school, buying more books for the library. I'm getting another cart with buckets on it, like an organizer's, because I'm running out of room. But the thing I'm most proud of with this one. So every year we do some sort of charity outreach as part of the fair. Our kids are pretty well off. They go to private school. So to be thinking about people other than themselves is something that we kind of strive to do. And in the past, we've done the program called All for Books, which is Scholastic's charity. Last year, we actually did a coin drive because our book theme last year was Books Make Me Want to Shout, which is a play off of Bills Make Me Want to Shout. So everything was football related and Buffalo Bills. So we donated to Damar Hamlin's charity last year. Which is Chasing M's, and he does a toy drive right before Christmas in Pittsburgh, and has basically kind of sets up like a shop, and parents can come in and choose what they want to get for their kids for Christmas. We raised $2,000 in coins. My financial person is still mad at me. There's still pennies in her office because that's very heavy. So that was wonderful. So we've done things like that. We donated to Oshai one year. We had like $1,000 worth of books. And I let the kids whose class has the most fundraising, they get to help me shop the fair. So they're helping to choose the books for the kids, which is cool. So this year they changed the name. It's called Share the Fair now. And the idea was that a lot of schools are in areas where not every kid can shop the fair. So they were using their All for Books money to help the kids in the school shop, whether they could bring in money from home or not. So Share the Fair is the new name. Since we just did the giant thing for Damar, I was like, I don't know that I really want to do anything else big. I was just going to take whatever money was rounded up in the register, round up for Share the Fair when you check out, and use it to help teachers buy books for their classrooms, especially some of our new teachers. I do that often and help the new teachers build their classroom libraries. Then 2 weeks ago when I was on Facebook after I was heartbroken yet again, the Bills weren't winning the AFC, but I was on Facebook and I saw a post from another book fair chairperson. There's a Facebook group for that. And they were wondering about how to send money from profits or whatever to schools in California that need to rebuild. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's a great idea. So I was looking at that conversation for a little bit, and then I thought about it. I actually have a friend from college. We were RAs together at SUNY Geneseo, and she lives in Altadena. So she lost her house and her school. So I reached out to her and said, hey, it might not be very much, but we have our book fair coming up. We have this charity program. If we have books to send you, would you want them? And she said, thank you very much. that's very sweet. And yes, we'll take anything because we have to start over. So I didn't have the lead time to advertise it like I do for a lot of the other book fairs. Like tomorrow, I was talking about that for months beforehand, and we'd had 2 weeks of fundraising. So that was big. So I really didn't have a lot of time to advertise, but we talked about it. We sent letters home. So we have $570 that we raised. And a lot of it was just rounding up at the register, or people saying, oh, put an extra $5 on it at the register, that kind of thing. So I get to go shop the fair tomorrow morning and choose books for them. And we're going to send them out to the school when they are ready to start rebuilding. It's the Waldorf, or the Pasadena Waldorf School. Their choir actually sang at the Grammys, which is pretty cool. And one of the things that really kind of got us, like, we really think that we're meant to help them out. One of the only things they found in the rubble was a statue of St. Francis. We are Franciscan school too. So that was kind of like, little chills. So I was really happy that we were able to get that much, that we get to go shop for the school and send them off. So good week. Really good. We had family fun nights. Kids had a great time. They bought a lot of tchotchkes. Hopefully they bought some books. Although, the chocolate calculator is still there. If you've ever bought or had a kid who bought a chocolate calculator, it's still there. Yeah. And the pointers, oh my gosh, the pointers, but it's all good. It's all good. So tomorrow we start our winter reading challenge where I bribe them to read. We keep track of how many minutes the kids read. There's prizes for the class with the most minutes, the class most minutes per capita, the class with the highest participation. I do the top 3 readers in every class. And then anybody who beats me also gets a prize when we're all done with it. And I also do a bingo board because not everybody can read, 100 words or 100 minutes a week, or I've got kids who read hundreds of minutes. It's crazy. My top winners last time was 7,000 minutes. Granted, I had to put a new rule into place that they can't read from midnight to 6 a.m. because the kid was staying up until 2 a.m, not sleeping. And was he really reading that whole time? Who knows? Oh, that was weird. Something just fell behind me. So we'll see how it goes, but it's fun. And so the bingo board, they get, read in a blanket fort to your pet, like that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun. I do give away lots of prizes, which is great. I've got rubber duckies for the kids who fill in a whole bingo board. And I actually have a bunch of teacher friends who are big readers this time. So I might have some real competition. But that means I'm going to get super far behind watching my Flosstubes in the next 5 weeks, because I'm going to have to come home and read for an hour every day at least. And then on the weekends, I can listen to audiobooks, because we do have that rule. For every minute you listen to an audiobook, you have to read an actual book. So I can plug in my Kindle and listen to my books while I'm cross-stitching on the weekend. So that's my plan. So lots of that going on, but let's get to stitching. So if you have been watching, thank you so much for those of you who've been watching. Thank you for my subscribers who've liked and the subscribed and who comment, and your kind comments. And it's always so much fun to read and connect with people. I just love being part of this community. It's so awesome. And I'm sad I'm behind. Like Holly of Hobbies of Collie, she just moved into her new house. I can't wait to see it. There's always a lot of good Flosstubes out to watch and see what everybody's up to. And now, of course, market stuff is starting to get released. There's some great stuff. So Lindy Stitches cracks me up. Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, she is hilarious with her videos. So I'll be watching those to and from work. Well, I kind of listen to them like other podcast on my way to and from work. So can't wait to see all the good stuff that's coming out for market. So if you've been watching, though, you'll know that I started a sale at the beginning of January, the Little Something sale. And the idea came last October. It was October, because I wanted a way to motivate myself to stitch on Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff and the big projects that aren't seasonal all through the year, and not just constantly be starting new stuff. When I watched Linny and Roberta's, hey girls, Sable Stitchers, when I watched one of their whip parades, Roberta had some really cool stats from 2024. She talked about how many whips how many starts, how many finishes, how many whips, and how many finishes were whips. And I think I had 52 finishes and 61 starts, and I have 29 whips. but I went to look back at my list to see what did I finish, what were those whips that carried over. There were only 4. I was like, ooh, that's probably not a good thing. I'm going to wind up with 5 million whips, and that would be too much for me. I know some people can have a lot of whips and pick things up all the time, but I wanted to have some, not like a framework or a guideline, but like motivation to pick those up and not just constantly start the new stuff that comes out. I mean, that's okay too. And I did finish a lot last year, but I want to finish those whips that are in the bags too. So in October, which also I had a little starter-palooza and started a ton of Halloween stuff. And I was thinking I will never finish all of these in just September and October, which is my normal Halloween stitching time. So that's when the rhyme from weddings popped into my head. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So I decided to make a week for each of the lines, and I changed 2 of them. So the first week of the month is something old. Second week is something new. The third week is something festive. So Christmas, holiday, whatever season's going on. And the fourth week is something boo. So first month is done, January, and it went pretty well. I got a lot of stitching done. And if you are a member of the Facebook group or you want to check out the Facebook group, go over to Facebook. There is a little something Sal. I do have a couple questions to answer to get in, to make sure that actual stitchers are in there. But we have people from all over the world. There's somebody from Italy. There's Linda from Australia, her needle was on fire last month, man. She was really doing a lot. Kay, hi Kay, she was stitching a ton. So hop on over, check out the Facebook group and see what everybody else is working on. Linda and Kay also changed the rhyme for the last week. Apparently they don't really celebrate Halloween in Australia, so she left it as something blue. And Linda's been working on like blue stitches, blue monochromatic samplers, so that's cool. Kay changed her to something for you. So it's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to go through what I stitched on within the rhyme. All right, so first I'm going to take a little sip of coffee from my Go Eagles mug. So I talked a lot this week at school with all of the tours of the book fairs that I had to do, but it was great. All right, so the first week was something old. So in January, I picked up, oh my gosh, I don't have the pattern covers, but I picked up the Hyggie Holiday. Now, I started that last August when the sale started. It was from Hands On Design, Chantel's 141, and Nicole Spohr. And I had like the first quadrant done, but I picked it up the first week. I worked on it for something old, and then I also picked it up again for something festive, and I finished it. So here is Hyggie Holiday, all done. So I stitched on 28 count Molly, which I absolutely love. Here, I'm going to look closer. You can see the modeling in it, and I just love this fabric. I love how it feels in your hand as you're working, and I like the subtle modeling. I did the blue colorway. There's 4 colorways that you can choose from, and there's also a whole bunch of little ornaments that came with the pattern. Now, we don't know that the pattern is available right now. I think they said it was going to go into the vault after like the initial release, and then I'm sure it'll come back out again at some point. So the frame came from Michael's in the $5 specialty frames that was up at the front. Now, I mounted it on sticky board, and then this is a piece of foam core because I didn't have another piece of sticky board big enough. And this blue fabric is just from my stash. Same family, a little darker than the blue that's in here, but I wanted it to kind of frame it. Now, I originally wanted to do washer and magnet because that's what kind of my go-to is. It would not stay, and it was driving me nuts that it wouldn't stay on there. So I decided instead, oh my gosh, I just broke it. Ah. Oh, that's great. There goes my great plan. Well, I used the 3M strips and I used the Velcro, and I just pulled the Velcro off. Well, I can fix it before next year, but the magnet and washer wasn't strong enough. So I put 3M strips on here that were the Velcro, and I pulled the sign off. It had a sign on here. That's what all that is from. And it worked great. It did work great until now. I just like pulled it off again, but that's okay. So I put the 3M strips on the foam core, not on the fabric because it'll pull every time. And my thought was I would just get more Velcro to use it, but that's kind of funny that like, I'm here, look, let me show you. And then it just came right off. I think it will work though. I'll just have to, whether I have to just use a Velcro strip each time. Oh, well, because it's easier than the magnets just weren't strong enough. I need to find really good ones. I think Priscilla and Chelsea have some on their Amazon site that I'll have to take a look at. So, oh, sorry. So that was Hyggie Holiday. And that was something old and something festive in January. Isn't it always the way? You're like, oh, this is great. And then it like falls apart when you're showing it to people. So, and I don't have the pattern for this one either because I put them away. I was cleaning up. For something new in January, I started the Winter Wonderland that was the freebie from Primrose. I was trying to be good in January and not buy stuff. I definitely don't need to buy books. I did actually buy one yesterday because it was double points on Kindle. I have so many books and, you know, I run a library. But I have a lot from Christmas. I have Kindle Unlimited. So I really don't need to buy books. And I was trying to be good about cross-stitching patterns as well. I may have bought one or two that were on sale. But I did really like the Winter Wonderland freebie that was from Primrose. So I did it with my own floss, just going through what I had in my drawer. And so this is the result. We had it wasn't a snow day. It was a cold day. In the middle of January, it was down to like -20 with the wind chill. So we didn't have school. So that was the day that I FFO'd these. So I did this on pewter, 28 count pewter that I had in my stash. The light blue is deep blue sea. The dark blue is blue corn. I used balsam fir, just the regular white, whatever. I think that's embers for the nose because I had it sitting around. And a little bit of blackbird for the black that was in there. And I thought it came out really, really cute. The pattern on the picture, it was kind of deceptive because just the fact that it didn't look like it was a huge pillow. It must have been an enormous pillow because they had a piece here and then they had a full piece underneath it. And I didn't want something that big to go in the basket with my other smalls because they're pretty small. So I thought it turned out really cute as a long pillow. This fabric was also just in my stash, just used that for the front and back. And then when I went to look at trim, I had some pom-poms, but I probably should have sewed those in if I was going to use them. And then I was like, how do you sew in the pom-poms? But I thought the lace just kind of set it off. You know, the lace with the snowflakes I thought looked really nice. So I just sewed that on by hand with a running stitch. So that was my second finish of the year. And that was from something new. It only took a couple nights. So then my next something new, I do have the picture for this one. Just dropped my scissors on the floor. Is Welcome Home Winter from Priscilla and Chelsea Stitching with the Housewives. They just had, I didn't actually finish watching their video yesterday because I want to see the hand. Somebody asked about what Priscilla uses for the hand cream when her hands hurt. And it's the weirdest thing. My hands have been hurting me lately. It's my elbow joint. And I think it's a combination of sitting at school like this, holding a picture book for 5 hours a week as I read stories, the computer work at school, and then stitching. So, but like right in here, my arms hurt. And I was like, I wonder if it would work there too. So I want to check that out. I did really like their new set that they're doing. It has a big piece that says these are the good old days, and then there's a spot, and they're going to do a small each month that goes with it. I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm working on this whole series. I want to do this whole series. I have this awesome finishing piece. This is what I used for the fall one. The washer magnets did actually hold on that one. Maybe they're different magnets. I don't know. And then, so then I was just going to, you know, kind of the same idea, have the stitching and then have all the picks kind of stuck in behind it. So I started this the week of something new. And then I worked on it a little bit gosh, sorry, words are hard. Started at the week of something new when I finished the Winter Wonderland. And then in the festive week, when I finished Hyggie Holiday, I went back to it. And then I also worked on it a little bit during the something boo week. The way that I stitch, my husband calls it my nest. We have these love seats in our living room with really high arms on them. And I have my floss just like laid out the arm and it just sits there. So I had this just sitting and I would just pick up the white and cut a strand, a 6-stranded piece off, work on a little bit of white, and then go to what I was doing for something boo, because I wanted this to keep moving. I would say I'm about maybe halfway done, and I love how it's turning out. Now, I'm doing this on black Aida, 14 count Aida, and it's kind of the called for. It's a mixture of the classic Colorworks. Well, most of it is classic Colorworks. It's just that I'm doing the 3865 for the white. It's so much white. I mean, you would need 3 skeins of bamboo to do it, and then that's expensive, and I honestly don't see the variegation. So I'm just going with the 3865, which I already had to start the second skein of that, and I'm halfway through. So it's a lot of white. I'm doing the Finley Gold in the building, which is called for. I just used Ember, or I will use Ember for the snowman noses. Ribbon Red for the cardinals. Steamed Broccoli for the green. And then for the blue, I'm using Really Tealy. I like that better than the Tropical Paradise. Because it just, I don't know. I love that teal color. And then it calls for Wagon Wheel, but I didn't have enough. So I'm using, I think it's a Weeks. Hold on, it's right here. It's Maple Sugar. And I think it's gassed. I'm not 100% sure. But it was really close to the Wagon Wheel, and I had enough to do it. Because remember, in January, I was trying to be good and not go buy new stuff. Although I might have to call my L&S and be like, leave me a piece of vintage country mocha sitting on your porch. Because I have plans for that. And I did buy a couple patterns the other day. I actually have to show you some of them on the iPad because we ran out of paper. I need to go buy paper. So I'm really happy with how that's coming along. I do hope to have it finished sometime this month, even just to have it up for a little bit. And then I will get started on the spring one. All right. So for something festive, it was Hyggie Holiday and the Welcome Home Winter. And then the 4th week is something boo. So I started, oh gosh, I mean like 10 things. I think I have like 10 Halloween whips. And so I was thinking, oh, well, what should I start with? So I decided to start with the Primrose set because they were small. I was like half done with 2 of them and I thought I could finish those. I might have a chance. So I already have finished the alphabet one. So I have the alphabet. I actually finished that one at Halloween time. So my floss goes flying. See. Oh, hold on. I do have a sheet of paper sitting out for just this purpose. So, oh, that would help to be upside down, wouldn't it? So here's my alphabet. And I'm probably going to do this one as a flat fold because I thought this fabric was 32 count. Turns out it's only 28 count. But it's kind of funny because it is not the size it says it would be on the pattern if you did 28. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I did it on natural linen, and I love it. It looks so super prim. And I love that sweet potato floss so much. It's just awesome. So the next one I picked up then, since I started this at Halloween time, and I had most of the word Stitchery done, I had part of the pumpkin done, and like one side of the motifs at the bottom. And I finished it. So here is, oops, you don't want to see the red side. Sorry. There is Salem Sisters Stitchery. Love how that turned out. This one I am going to do in a hoop. I have this great plaid that I'm going to use on all 3 of them. And I have this really cool little stand. So it's like a freestanding wreath hanger. So it's just like metal base, little stick with a hook on it. So I can hang this next, like have it freestanding hanging on the hoop with the other 2. That's my plan for this coming Halloween. And then I did do a little bit of work after I finished Boo, or the Sister's Stitchery. I did do a little bit of work on the Quaker. But my intention will be to finish the Quaker this month. I should be able to finish it. There's a lot of fabric or floss stuck to it. And there's a bunch of threads coming out. So we're all friends here. We know that happens. So I got a little bit more done in that. I was filling in the 31 down here. So pretty excited. So the Stitchers, Salem, oh my gosh, I can't say it. It's like a tongue twisters. The Salem Sisters Stitchery would be finish number 3. Because I have the Hyggie Holiday and the Winter Wonderland, and then I finished the Sisters Stitchery. So that's pretty cool. Hold on one sec. I'm going to reset. All right, so January had a couple extra days in it because I was going from like January 1st through the 7th as far as the weeks go. So I think I just worked on the winter, the Welcome Home Winter, and trying to get more of that done. And I might pick that one up tonight while we're watching the Super Bowl, just to get a little bit more and try to finish that off. So February is all about the Valentine's Day stuff. I leave Valentine's Day up the whole month. So much stuff that already says February on it and has hearts, I just leave it up. So I will be stitching Valentine's the whole month except for the last week when I am doing Boo. So the first week of February, which is hard to believe it's already come and gone, but that was something old. So I have 3 big Valentine's Day whips. One of them is probably one of my oldest. It's the Valentine's Day House Trio from Waxing Moon. And maybe I'll get some of that. I have to go through and re-pull the threads or the floss. I don't know what happened, but most of the floss is not in the bag. So I need to have 10 minutes to sit down and do that. But this is whip number 2. That was the Loads of Love from Primrose Cottage. I'm pretty sure I started it last year. And then I took it to school with me after Valentine's Day was over. And I just left it because I have a cross-stitching club at school. And I just left it in the bag at school. And whenever the kids were working well, because by the end of February, March-ish, the kids, like, some kids have already been in it, so they know what they're doing. Or the new kids kind of got the grasp of it. So I could actually sit and stitch while they were stitching as well. So, so that one is done. I just lost my piece of paper. Goodness. Sorry. Discombobulated. All right, so here it is. All set. Now, I didn't have the called for floss when I started on it, so I decided to go with, and our LNS hadn't opened yet. I went with the DMC variegated red to do the truck. Now, I kind of had to fussy cut it because the way the DMC variegated threads work is it goes from very light to very dark, but I'm pretty sure it's like actual DMC colors in there. And some of it was very dark. You can see a little bit over here. It got very dark, like 816 or 817. And I was hoping more for like the 321 and the 304s. So I did kind of fussy cut it to make sure that I was staying with like the brightest colors. And then I didn't have the fancy floss for the blue, but I just used 359 and it was delightful. So this I'm probably going to finish this coming weekend. We have a long weekend. So I'm planning on doing a day of FFO'ing. I'm probably just going to do this in a flat finish. Take a look through my Valentine's Day fabric and see what I have. And I'll probably use this blue. I have some rickrack in that color to make it pop against the whatever background I find. So that was finish number 4 for the year. So I did finish that in the first week, which was something old. So then I picked up my other Valentine's Day whip. I started this last year as well. And it was the City Valentines. And I'm doing them all together in one row. So this is another Stitching with the Housewives. Now last year I was able to do all of the third one with a cute little house. And I've started on the second one. And then I will eventually get to, so I may do some of this in the festive week too. I started with 3 because it was in the middle. There's number 1, cute little bakery, and the bike. And then number 4 has the candy shop. So I'm doing these on a piece of Monaco that I dyed pink last year. I think it's Petal Pink is the light pink color. A little darker than what I was thinking it would wind up being, but it's okay. It's cool. So this is what I got done this week in the couple of days that I worked on it. I am going to go in and fill in the rest of the house windows. It's a light pink, but I don't know. I don't like it with just the plain that you can see. Because they did it on white. So it would just be the windows were white. But, so there's my pink variegated piece. And I did a little bit on that one. So I will probably go back to this a little bit during the festive week. We'll see, because there's a lot of stuff. I have a giant list for the festive week. Oh my goodness. For something new, or I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah. So that was my something olds. And then yesterday started something new. So I have a giant pile of Valentine's Day stuff. Some of it were things I bought last year. Priscilla and Chelsea just came out with adorable stuff for this year. So I have a bunch. But I did start one yesterday. So I bought this last year. It's the Valentine's Day Quaker from Primrose Cottage. And I'm doing that on linen that I dyed with that same petal pink. It is darker. I think the other one I rinsed, the Monaco, I rinsed it out to try to make it a little bit lighter. And I'm doing this with, so there's so far. I'm doing this with the DMC Silk, which is 601. It's the color 601 that you probably have used a million times, but it's the silk one. And I gotta say, maybe it's because it's the DMC. I don't know, but DMC stuff is good stuff. Towards the end of it, it gets very fluffy, you know, like it kind of unravels a little bit. So I find a lot of waste, I think. But I think it's cute. I did this, like I said, I did this yesterday. I will probably work some more on it during the Super Bowl tonight. Maybe I'll do the half on this one and then work on the winter one a little bit too. But there's plenty of fabric left on this piece that I'm going to be able to use. And this one has a lot of modeling on it. I like how this one turned out. I will use that for some other pieces as well. I went through, I have a basket, ouch, needle. I have a basket that I throw my Aiden and linen scraps into because I try not to waste too much fabric. So I was kind of looking like, what do I have in my scraps that I can use to do the pieces that I want to do coming up. So this one is Key to My Heart, and I'm going to do this. I have pink sparkly Ada. Oh, hold on. They're right here. What do you know? So this is, it's hard to see it, but oh, you can see the sparkle, but it is pink. When you look at it in the tube, you can see how pink it is. And what I did last year when I used this for the Bee Valentine series from Priscilla and Chelsea, I think that's the pink one. Yeah, that's the pink one. I used a piece of pink scrapbooking paper behind it when I finished it. And that helped to like, it picked up, because that's what's happening in the tube. Because it's rolled up, you can see how pink it is. So having pink behind it kind of brought the pink out a little bit. So I'm going to do Key to My Heart on the pink sparkly Ada. And probably finish it the same way I did. I have other ones from last year that I did just a red, did it in a hoop and put a red ruffle around it. There's also one of the freebies is February 14th, and I may do that one as well on the pink sparkly Ada. Now this one I've had for a couple of years, and I am definitely getting this one done this year. This is the Cookies and Coffee Love You a Latte. And considering that I have a coffee theme in my classroom and my kitchen, I've wanted to get this one done for a while. So this will be started this week. I'm going to do it on the black chalkboard linen that I have. I'm trying to use that up. Although I may dye a piece of Monaco black this coming weekend because I've got the long weekend. But I have like a whole other tube of the black Ada, or the chalkboard, so I want to use it up. So we're definitely going to do the Cookies and Coffee. And then this year's set is stinking adorable. There's the Hugs and Kisses, which I'll do on the black. I thought about doing it on the pink sparkly, but then I decided I have one of those wooden hanging pieces from Hobby Lobby from the unfinished wood, where it's 4 wooden discs together on a piece of jute or whatever. And I have one that I already painted white, that I've been meaning to do a set of the roundabouts, like put them all together, and you can washer and magnet them so that you can change them out. And I thought these would be cute on that, to do the set together. So I am going to do them on the black. So there's the Hugs and Kisses, Will You Be Mine, which comes with the Bee Suite. And you know me and bees. And then I also got, this is when I ran out of paper. So I have pictures. I got the You're My Cup of Tea. So I'm going to do the 4 of those together, and those are all going to be on the black chalkboard. Now I also picked up this week, because I could not help myself, the new Rise and Shine coffee. As I said, I've got coffee themes in 2 places. I can't wait to see what the rest of these are going to look like. They did it on tea-dyed Monaco. I have tea-dyed linen, but I'm kind of thinking I also have a little piece of Vintage Country Mocha, and I think that that would look awesome on it. Now, I actually had the idea last night. I bought the Vintage Country Mocha for the Primrose Cottage Christmas Welcome to the North Pole, and I have like literally 15 stitches in that. It was kind of like, when am I going to actually work on that? I am going to do it, but do I pull those stitches out and use the Vintage Country Mocha that I already have? Or do I call my LNS and say I need a piece of Vintage Country Mocha and do it that way? I have one little piece which I think might be big enough to at least start the first one. And I probably would do some cute little finish like what they have with the checkered. Love it. It's adorable. So that was haul and get started. Oh, and here's one. I'm not sure who did this one, but somebody did the Primrose Cottage. Oops. Sorry, trying to not get the... Somebody did the Primrose Cottage Quaker with the blue, and I'm just going to do the birds. I'm going to do everything with the pink, but I'm going to do the birds in blue. I think that'll look really cute. So the home... sorry, I got ahead of myself. So the coffee, I think I'm going to do on Vintage Country Mocha because I like the modeling in that. And I might just buy myself another piece. I also picked up, and again, I ran out of paper, so I can't show you, but I got the Home is Where Your Story Begins. And that I'm going to do on Cracked Pine Ada, which I think is going to look really awesome. So, and that I'm going to probably do this week because it's something new. And the coffee one is also something new. So we've got the Key to My Heart, the Cookies and Coffee, the set of 4. And then these are freebies from Hands On Design. The Love You More. I have a little bit of white linen I'm going to do that on. And then there's also the Love You, which I think I'm going to use the leftover pink from the Quaker for that one. Because I think those are adorable. And I'm trying to do the same kind of colors so that when they're all out together, there's no clashing, but there's just kind of coordinating. I do also have the Be Mine Home from Primrose. And I think I have another piece of that awesome 10 count natural Ada. Or no, it's not Ada. It's 10 count natural even weave from Kay when she sent me a box of Stitchy goodness. So I might do this on the big one to make it big, because I have the frame that worked for the Thanksgiving house, and I think it might be cute for the Valentine's Day house too. I did also print out the new one, which is super cute, but quite honestly, I do not like that pink at all. So I would use pinks that would coordinate with the other stuff, and blues that coordinate. So we'll see how much gets stitched in the next 2 weeks, considering that now I have to read to try to beat all of the children as well. But I am a little ambitious, so we'll see how it goes. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to kind of reconfigure, because I do have some haul and I do have some books I want to show you. All right, so a couple weeks ago, I went to Joann's because I needed to get more fabric for the backing of the quilt for Jake and Jordan. I am still working on it. Now that the book fair is over, you know, I can come home from school on time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are my early days. I can come home and actually get a couple squares done before dinner, and then reading and stitching. So, and next weekend we have a long weekend, so I do hope to get quite a bit done on it. But the back, I had originally planned on doing squares of just big pieces of flannel that are Halloween colored, so orange, black, green, and purple. But then it got bigger. The quilt wound up being bigger than my original plan because the squares didn't all line up. So I added an extra border to offset them, and so it's huge. It's actually kind of a pain to get it through the machine. So I have to think to myself, like, never again make a quilt this big, or I'm going to have to send it to a long arm. Or I need to learn how to do free motion, which is something I hopefully will challenge myself to do this summer, because right now I'm doing it in the ditch. So going around each square and having to turn, I think that's one of the things that was like hurting my arms, with my poor little elbows. I don't know what's going on with those, but I'm going to try that stuff. I'm going to finish watching Priscilla and Chelsea and see if I can get myself some of that, lotion that she was talking about. So when I was in Joann's, of course, I picked up some other things. They had their Christmas stuff on sale, and there were a few things that I just could not leave there. So this was one of them. No idea what I'm going to do with it. Isn't that the way with half the Christmas stuff that you see? So this was a panel, and I was like, that is adorable. It's got cute little truck. It's got cardinals. So there's more. Had to bring that home. And I tried to get some, I don't think they had coordinating plaid, but I thought, you know, you can put a couple borders around it and it would be a really cute quilt with the adorable center. Now, you know, I have a thing about cardinals. I still have cardinals up, actually. They'll stay up through all of February. So when I saw this, I had to get it. Just gorgeous. And then this was right next to it. So with a red, like a plain red in between them, it'll be awesome. And then this was just too stinking cute to leave there. It was and it's flannel, which I love for the backs. Look at those moose. They're adorable. So I'll have to make sure I make something that's not too big for the moose back, or I'll have to piece it. So that was a quick little trip to Joann's. And I do have to go back because, there we go. My niece is having her first baby. It's a little girl, and we're having her shower in March, and Elizabeth is doing the nursery in Elephants. Now, when I was there getting this fabric, I was walking through, and I was at one of the smaller Joann's. We have a couple in the area, but this is the one that's on my way home from work, and I knew I could just get, you know, orange flannel. I knew I'd be able to get it there. So, and I still had to piece it. I took all of the orange flannel they had, and there's still like a giant strip of black in the middle because it wasn't wide enough. It'll be fine when it's all done. It's going to be great. Anyway, I was looking in the baby section, and they had some adorable elephant fabric I was like, oh, that's so stinking cute. So then when I talked to my sister-in-law and she told me that Bess was doing, Elizabeth is doing elephants for the baby, I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. So I'm going to have to go back and get some elephant fabric. It's going to be very cute. And I need to get my tushy in gear. Yes, I know. So I will be going to Joann, hopefully. You know, I have a long weekend. I always say I'll get so much stuff done, but this week I really will. I will. I'm going to really get on it. Hopefully it won't snow so much. Like right now, my poor husband is out shoveling snow and clearing snow at our properties. So I already got up and cleared off the cars with him this morning. And so hopefully we won't have crazy weather to interfere with my sewing time, right? All right, so then I was in Michael's because I was getting stuff for the book fair because I do craft nights. So we had bracelets and we made book buddies. There was like pom-poms with googly eyes and antenna and little feet, and they came out really cute. And then I got stuff just to put out to make cards, and I had like doilies because it's so close to Valentine's Day. I thought they could make cards and use berry phrases on them and stuff. So it was all good. But I did see some other things while I was at Michael's. They had these bows, and I was like, that would be awesome as a finishing piece, or like on a finishing piece. They had this adorable garland. Ooh, this might be really cute with the truck. I could make a really big piece for the background and then have this across the top, kind of mimicking what they have with the little banner in the truck. Cute. See, you guys are so helpful. And then these, look at those cute little roses. So they have pink and red ones, and I was like, those will be awesome too. Then they also, so those were on sale. Those were in the Valentine's Day section. But then they have the Easter stuff and the spring stuff, and it wasn't on sale, but I don't care because I was like, it will be gone when I come back to get it. So these are picks. Look how stinking cute. That is velvet. They had it also in blue and I think in a green, but I got the pink. You can see it's velvety. But I was like, I can just snap off the pick and put it where I want it to go. They also had bunnies. Look how stinking. You can have a puppet show. So again, I will probably just snap them off the picks and put them in something. You know what? One of the things I do at Easter time, I saw this on Pinterest a couple of years ago, and it's cute because I don't have a ton of Easter. Easter's harder. Someone took teacups and filled it with like moss and potpourri and then put those little mossy green bunnies in it. Wouldn't these be cute in a teacup? And I have teacups that are blue and pink. They're going to go live in a teacup. They're so cute. But the coolest thing, look at the sheep. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And I like I said, I paid full price because it will not be here. And I do get a teacher discount at Michael's, so I never pay full price, which is great. But I was like, it won't be here when I come back. I just thought of it. I wonder if I will find more. I can put it out because I am doing the whole You series from Annie. Love them. They're awesome. Can't wait to see whatever she has for Valentine's Day for them. I think she did the lucky one. Well, last year was the first one. But I can put out a little sheep with Annie's. How stinking cute are they? So Michael's, run. They were not on sale yet when I was there, but they were worth it. Look at the little sheep. So cute. So cute. All right, so that's pretty much all I have. I kind of already showed you my haul because it's gonna be in my stitching plans. I did buy a couple house patterns too. I don't know where they are now. There was a Valentine's Day house for one of the stitchers that the essay stitches. That was so cute. Whether or not I will actually get it done this year, I don't know, but it was awesome. All right, so now it comes to the book portion, because I've been sharing with you what I've been reading, and people said that they liked that. So, and be ready because the next couple of weeks there will be a lot of books. I'm planning on reading an actual book during the week, hard copy, like a hard copy. And then on the weekends, I can listen to my audiobooks because I have an old Kindle and it's like 13 years old. I think it might even, I don't know, it's old. It's the Kindle Touch and it had a text to speech feature. So it will read my books to me. They don't make that anymore because they want you to buy Audible. So I'm hoping right now it doesn't hold a charge very well. I have to charge it a lot. And it could be someday I might just it always has to be plugged in because I don't want this to ever die so that I can just listen to an audiobook. And it does it in a terrible voice. It's not like listening to an audiobook with an actor or an actress reading it, but it's still listening to the book, especially for winter reading challenge. So I can still stitch and listen at the same time. I don't know that I can quilt and listen at the same time. That's harder to do because you're having to decide more when you're quilting. I feel like, I think you're making more decisions when you're stitching. It's like, what color am I going to do next? It's not a whole heck of it. Like, I don't think I could be finishing, like working on FFOing and listening because you have to decide too many things. At least that's how my brain works. So in the past couple of weeks, I finished this book. Go back. Okay, now it's not cooperating. This was a book on my Kindle, Murder at the Mayfair Hotel by C.J. Archer. Now, I've read a couple things by her. She's got a really great series with magicians. It was the Glass and Steel series. And then there's a spin-off of that. It's the first one was The Librarian of Crooked Lane, right? And there's magic in those, and I like them quite a bit. This one is just straight up mystery. It's Cleopatra Fox. So she was living with her grandmother, having been orphaned. When her grandmother dies as I think she's 23, but still at the Victorian era, not like she could own anything or do anything on her own. So she goes to live with her aunt and uncle who own the Mayfair Hotel. And in the first one, there is a murder in the hotel right before New Year's. They suspect a member of the staff, and Cleo gets involved in solving the mystery. It was pretty good. So I finished that. I haven't been reading as much because I've been doing so much prep for stuff. So I'm looking forward to having the winter reading challenge to really get myself into the giant stacks of books sitting in my room. Then I started Tea and Empathy, which was part of my Christmas present from my husband. Look at that cover. Isn't it gorgeous? Just love it. So this is about the village of Ridding, a hidden village that you stumble across when you need it. So the main character's name is Elwyn, and she is a healer, but she was cast out of where, like, she made a mistake and they threw her out. So she's been wandering, and she comes across this little village. And there is a cottage there that is supposed to be the healer's cottage. It has a helper. So, like, the spirits of all the other healers kind of have combined into this helper. But Elwyn doesn't want to really be the healer because she's worried about what happened. So she opens a tea shop. And that's about as far as I've gotten in it. Where's my bookmark? My bookmark fell out. Oh, no. But I did start it. I do like it. I like the author. And there is a second one. I'm going to see about picking that up. Then, and my Kindle, because I always have something on my Kindle just because it's easy to pick up. And I have this thing about doing the challenges that they give you. I know, I'm a dork. We knew this. So right now I'm also reading the bookstore at Holiday Bay, which is from the Holiday Bay series by Kathy Daly. She's got several. There's the Inn at Holiday Bay, which was the first one. Then there's the Bistro. Then there was the bookstore. And now there's going to be a series with the Animal Rescue. So you've got a lot of the same cast of characters. This one, they are on a writer's retreat and somebody gets murdered. It's okay. It's not as good. I'm not as, like, into it as some of the other ones, but I'm almost done with it. I will, want to see who done it. And then I'm going to start the Valentine's Day one from the Inn. And then this is another series. I read the first one was Murder with a Hint of Pumpkin Spice. And then there was Peppermint with a Peppermint Twist. And then this one is Dark Chocolate. So it's Valentine's Day. So I like reading seasonal books too. I'm going to finish the Tea and Empathy. And then I do have a ton of stuff I need to read for school because we have a book tournament coming up as well, which is basically, we have like matchups and the kids have to read both books and then you can vote on which book you like best. And we go from 8 to 4 to 2. So I have a bunch of those that I need to read. I've already picked pretty much what's going to be in it, but I haven't read them all. I know some of them are like award-winning books from other awards this year. So I just haven't had a chance. So I'll be reading those as well. So that's all I have for this time. I did not expect it to go just about an hour. Thanks for sticking with me through all of my Valentine's Day plans and my football rant and book fair talk. So I hope that you are warm and stitching away. I know it's been pretty cold temperatures for the past couple weeks for people, but hopefully February will be a little bit better. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day week, or Galentine's, or however you're going to celebrate it. Eat some chocolate, eat some ice cream, whatever you're doing. I hope you have a good one. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and join the Facebook group. Go over and take a look at the Little Something Sal. Join the group, and I hope to see you there. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye.